Hi there, welcome back to See Today Business. We're going to be talking about video games. And earlier this year, the Indonesian government showed their commitment and recognition towards the video gaming industry as they issued the presidential regulation in Liew of Law number 19 of 2024 on the acceleration of the development of the national video game industry. The presidential regulation enacted in February aims to tackle challenges in Indonesia's gaming industry as it serves as a guideline for the central and regional governments to establish sectoral policies. These include policies to enhance research development, education, funding, and infrastructure provision. Now, the market potential is large in Indonesia. In 2022, the country had an estimated 174.1 million gamers, and according to the Tourism and Creative Economy Ministry, the apps and games subsector contributed over 31.2 trillion rupiah to Indonesia's GDP back in 2021. Meanwhile, according to Statista, the video games market in Indonesia is projected to reach $1.2 billion in revenue this year. The largest segment is online games with a forecasted volume of over $376 million. Globally, the video games industry is forecasted to generate over $282 billion this year. China is projected to generate the highest revenue with $94.4 billion. All right, let's talk about video games and Indonesia's video gaming industry, especially with Agate CEO and Co-founder Shieny Aprilia. Shieny, thank you so much for joining us on See Today Business.
Thanks for having me.
Right, so as I mentioned there, a lot of potential globally and also in Indonesia as well for the video game industry. But how do you see the development and maybe the current condition of Indonesia's video gaming industry now compared to maybe 5 to 10 years ago?
So the development is very exciting because a lot of games from Indonesian game companies, including from Agate as well, starting to becoming more successful commercially and also getting more awareness in the global market as well. So it's very exciting, and then I believe with the government regulation coming in, we will be looking at more accelerated growth in the future. Yeah.
Right. So it's going well, it's developing well, that's
yes.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
But as I was mentioning there, of course, the video gaming industry globally is forecasted to generate $282 billion this year. In 2022, it was about $184 billion. It's a big industry globally. How do you see Indonesia's position in the global market, though? Is it on track to reach its potential? And maybe what are the challenges,
Yeah, so in terms of market, I believe that eventually, organically, the Indonesian market will get there. I mean, it is projected by some research that it will reach becoming the top 5 game market by country in the world. So because of the large population and also the growing economy, and then the younger people, significant population in the country, right?
Yeah.
On the other hand, in terms of the industry, we still have a lot of challenges. But I believe we are on the right track in terms of more and more quality shown by the companies, the Indonesian companies, and also I mentioned more and more games released globally, and then getting becoming successful commercially in the future. In the global market as well. So I think, and also we are as a company from Indonesia, we are really looking forward of future growth, more significant growth, pushed by the government regulation as well.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of these video game companies abroad, maybe Nintendo, even Bethesda, they've been around for years. Right?
Yeah, more than 50 years actually.
Indonesia's video gaming industry maybe started blossoming, I think, 2000?
Yeah, so maybe in a way 10, 15 years maximum. Yeah. So it's still very young compared to more mature countries out there. Yeah. So yeah, early days, good times, still a lot of challenge, right. But I think we are in a good position to be really growing in the near future. Yeah.
Right. So maybe just explain to us how it works in terms of maybe the investment. Like if you want to develop a game, how does it work? And do you get investments, and how is that investment looking like? Are investors interested in investing in developing video games in Indonesia?
Yeah, more and more investors actually looking to invest in the game development, compared to before. And how does it looking like is that, of course, it's similar to in other products as well, where we show the like revenue projections and also the what kind of problems that we want to solve with the products or the games that we want to develop, right? And then yeah, I think it's looking like, I mean, like the trend is positive in terms of more investors going in to invest in game developments, and also like in terms of project investment, not only from institutional investors, but also can be looking from like crowdfunding, and also, yeah, like crowdfunding, yeah.
Okay, and maybe how does that compare to maybe the movie industry? Because if I'm not wrong, the gaming industry, even in Indonesia, is bigger than the movie industry.
Yes. So compared to the movie industry, like movie investment getting more more appeal, right? And not more appeal. I mean, like more traction right now. Like more investors, more aware to invest in the creating of a movie compared to games. The reason is because movie industry is more mainstream, like it's, and also more predictable in terms of how it can generate revenue. And then like on the other hand, for games, because of the number of companies as well, and also number of talents, creating games is also more limited compared to movie. So I think it's because of the different phase. Like in the game industry, is in Indonesia, it's earlier. I mean, like younger compared to the movie industry. So that's why it's right. It's like that. And also in terms of the local market as well, in terms of movie, there is already local movie already have its own market. So it's more predictable as well, like less risk to invest in a game development, movie production compared to game development. But I think I really believe that it will becoming better, and because like as you can see from in the past 10 years as well, more quality games coming from Indonesian companies. It means that more funding going there as well, and also pushed by again like by the government regulation, because it's also regulates about funding as well. So I believe there will be more investors looking at looking to invest in the game development as well.
Right, and as you're saying, it's still quite young, 10
still
to 15
quite young.
years. That's nothing.
Yeah,
but it's getting there. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is also expanding globally. Now, I know your company yourself, you have, or maybe you're already making moves on expanding globally. Tell us more about that, and how prospective is it for Indonesian video game companies to expand globally?
Yeah, so right now we already have like global clients already, and also we are looking to expand on more like getting more global clients as well by having global reps in several countries like South Korea, Germany. So we have some representative there, and also the US. And how prospective? I believe it's really prospective because of the quality itself. We already be able to show proof that we can do like very quality games. The quality really can compete with the global products, global talents. But on the other hand, the cost is also still very affordable, very competitive. So I think it's really prospective for us Indonesian game companies to be able to compete, whether it's to get investment, not only from the local investors, but also from global investors. Because like global investors meaning like global game publishers, right? We compete with game companies coming from more advanced, like more mature countries, but of course with higher costs as well. So I think in that front, we really able to compete in that front, yeah.
Okay, right. So unfortunately, we are running out of time. But another thing that you mentioned as well is the support from the government. And as I mentioned earlier in the story, that the government recently issued the presidential in Liew of Law number 19 of 2024 to accelerate the development of Indonesia's video game industry. How have you seen the impact following the issuing of that regulation?
So right now, from what I can understand, is that the regulation is still like on progress on the implementation.
Yeah.
But I think it's already becoming more interesting for potential investors as well, potential publishers that looking to partner with Indonesian companies. So like a lot of companies, not only from Indonesia but also globally, global game companies are really looking forward of the implementation of the regulation itself to be able to like executing more development projects over here or publishing their games in Indonesia market with this new regulation. So we are very excited on having that in place later this year.
So I guess the thing you were talking about before is maybe needs more awareness, and with this regulation, the awareness.
Yeah, so it's really boosts the awareness as well. Yes, you're correct. Yeah.
All right. Well, Shieny Aprilia, a CEO and co-founder of Agate, thank you so much for coming to our studios.
Thanks for having me.
And let's hope that Indonesia's video gaming industry can level up even further. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go for a short break, but when we return, we'll have more business and economics updates. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to See Today Business.